everybody, and welcome to this epic interview with the gorgeous lady you see on the screen next to me. This interview is going to be talking about my accreditation program, EQ Mastery Coach. I said before in the other interview, if you've seen it or not, I nearly decided not to do it. And Lisa was actually the very first person who said, Sam, I'm going to do this program. And I was like, oh my God, my first sale. So I knew that the world needed it. So Lisa, just introduce yourself, tell everybody what you do, and most importantly, why did you decide to enroll into EQ Mastery?
Hello everybody, I'm Lisa Preston from Step by Step Wellbeing, and I am a mental health coach and a wellbeing therapist, and our EQ intelligence, emotional intelligence and EQ mastery is just, I love it. Absolutely love it. So one of my passions is supporting children with their mental health and giving them the coping strategies that they need to support themselves and to soothe themselves. And I trained as a coach in a method called the Rest Easy method, and within that we use emotional intelligence to teach children to recognize their emotions, to understand them, where to feel them, but obviously in child-friendly language and in its most basic sort of form. And it was seeing that in action within that method when I learned it that just kind of was like, gosh, this is just all so, it makes more sense. It brings it all together, and that sort of understanding. So I'm a very evidence-based person. I like to see evidence. I like to see tangible results. And so when I learned about what the EQ Mastery Coach entails, I just thought, yeah, that's going to take this knowledge that I've got and that I coach and give it some welly and give me that ability to apply it to adults in a coaching capacity as well.
Amazing. God, you really embodied that program, didn't you?
I love it so much.
So what did you love about it so much?
Like I say, having evidence in front of me, that's where I thrive. Seeing something in front of me and seeing the sort of emotional intelligence report there in front of me, you can't get away from it. So you can have talking therapies and you can have coaching sessions, both which I'm very, very passionate about. But I think sometimes even when you're trying to have these conversations and you're trying to peel back layers, you can still hide behind yourself, because you can convince yourself that how you're living and what you're living with and your coping strategies are okay for you. And you can convince yourself of that very, very easily in the conscious mind. But whereas we both know what's going on in the subconscious mind can tell a very, very different story. So when I had my first emotional intelligence report done during the Authentically Aligned program, it stopped me in my tracks. And I was a bit like, oh, well, okay then. And it certainly brought some stuff to the surface, which I thought I'd dealt with, which I thought I'd processed.
Because you got quite frustrated with the report, didn't you? So just before we continue, in EQ Mastery Coach, not only do you learn to embody emotional intelligence for yourself and for others and for leadership and your business, but I also teach you how to apply the EIQ assessments. And so that's what Lisa's talking about. And I use these not only in my coaching practice, but in my training practice. And Lisa had her first one in Authentically Aligned, which I ran last November, I think it was, October.
Yeah,
and Lisa did not like it. She was like, I don't like it. Tell everyone why you felt that way.
I think, seeing these things in black and white right in front of you, because it's come from within me. No. And it's not a therapist telling me X, Y, and Z. It's not a coach telling me X, Y, and Z. It's not something I've read on Instagram and I think, oh, okay. It's come from within me. There's no hiding from it. It's a mirror. It's literally a mirror of everything that you've held deep down. So, obviously, I approached the process of answering the questions, which is where the report generates its kind of findings from, with an open mind. But you can't even guess it. You can't even second guess what the questions are going to come out with from the report. So you just got to go it. You've got to go all in with it. And I did. And then when the results came back, I was kind of a bit like, oh, I thought I'd done with that. I thought I'd dealt with that. I thought I'd processed that. And obviously I hadn't. So yeah, it was a bit disappointing. There were certain elements of it that were surprising, and I was like, okay, yeah, I can deal with that. That's good. And then there were certain elements where I was scoring lower in the elements that it brings out for clients that hurt. It hurt a little bit, yeah.
So sometimes the truth does hurt. The truth is not supposed to be pretty or kind all the time. Sometimes we have to face the hardship to understand that actually, fuck, I've got a lot of shit I need to deal with. And you know me, I don't beat about the bullshit. So you done your first EQ assessment in Authentically Aligned. So that was, I'm sure it was October, November, December, then January.
January.
So was it 63 days? Or was it more than that?
No, it wasn't that long. It was 93 days.
Yes, about 93 days. So when she done EQ Mastery Coach, so when you do it, you get a complimentary assessment, and you had a huge increase in your EQ, didn't you? So what happened between taking it the first time to doing it the second time?
So much. So it's that old saying, isn't it? The truth is what will set you free, or whatever, however it goes. And it really, really did. So I was already on a process of kind of like self-improvement, self-development anyway. The psychotherapy training course that I'm doing is very much about self-exploration as well, and obviously bringing stuff up that's harmed you, hurt you, so that you can obviously hold that space for somebody else in the future once you've processed it yourself. And so I was kind of already on that track, but September, October, I was feeling a bit lost and a bit out of sync, and that's where Authentically Aligned came in. And obviously in the November is when I did the silent counselling training, and I've never been one of those people that's had a big aha moment or an epiphany, or, you know, it's just been smaller breakthroughs constantly. It's just been consistently working on myself, consistently getting in touch with who I am again, which is where that passion comes from, to help others that are in that same position. I lost my way. I lost myself. I took on the roles that I was supposed to have, mom, work, everything else that comes along. And I lost me, I lost myself along the way. And so starting to repair that and starting to get back in touch with me. And again, those shifts, they happened gradually. I couldn't pinpoint one single thing that works, but having a whole toolbox of things that you can draw upon when you need them at your most vulnerable moments, and not being afraid to ask for help and acknowledge where maybe you're lacking and you need to replenish, brings about change.
Well done, baby. That was amazing, because that was huge for you. You did have a lot of, would you say you had big breakthroughs during the times of doing the EQ assessments?
So there were big breakthroughs, but it wasn't just one singular one. That's what I was kind of trying to say.
Baby steps,
baby steps, step by step.
How did you find the course in itself?
The course was brilliant. So I attended some of them live and in person, and they were really, really powerful. But the flexibility of having that chance to catch up as well was amazing. The group dynamic, the ability to ask questions, the seeing things in action. Again, I'm one of those people that likes to see things in action. So seeing the EQ assessments in action, experiencing it in action for myself as well. It was just there was so much knowledge. I tend not to rewatch trainings if I can help it, because I've got so many to do. But I couldn't not watch this again and again, because there was just so much information in there. And it's only so fast your hand can go when you're making notes.
So actually, I'm going to ask you, do you think it would be better to have it like a manual with it? So I'm thinking for next round, if I had the slides and made it into some manual, would that be better? So then you have it in front of you as well as watching it.
Yes, very possibly, actually, because there is just so much. And I think
I'm going to do that.
Slides were jam-packed with information, but then kind of like the stuff that kind of goes on behind the scenes that you speak about, it's just knowledge, isn't it?
Even I'm thinking to myself, like, it was so good. I think maybe the next time I'm going to do it, I think I just share it again, because I was in the moment. Like, it was just powerful. I'm like, I don't think I need to record this again. It's just there. There's no point in me repeating it, but I'll do the live session again. I think I'll do that. Yeah. I may bring you on and do a comparison on you. So because you messaged me the other day and went, I love EQ. Why do you love emotional intelligence so much? How has EQ Mastery Coach helped you in your life and in your business?
So I think in my life, it's helped me because it's given me a better understanding of myself. Like I said, it's a mirror. It's shown me where I am. It's shown me where I can improve. It's given me that kind of idea of where I want to get to. And it's a very fluid model as well. So even though the report's there and it was generated in October and then again in January, it just shows you that you're a whole person, that you're a whole being. And if you neglect a certain part of yourself, then it'll have an effect on the others. So I could have scored 100% in an element, but if I ignore that and don't nurture it and nourish it, then that very well may drop. So it's just all about balance, I suppose. So that's where it's really, really helped me. And it's kind of helped me understand where, like I said before, where I might have been reactive or explosive. It's kind of helped me maybe see where that's come from and what to do about it. And then in my business, it's just the most amazing tool to use when you are a coach. So I think it's a no-brainer for me that if you're going to start working with someone and you're going to bring them into your coaching package, whether that's already laid out or whether it's just going to be a fluid, let's see what you need and when you need it. Starting with emotional intelligence shows you where your client's at. It shows them where they're at. I mean, I'm the worst for like going into a therapy session, which I have as part of my training course, and I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. But you're obviously not, because you sort it out for a reason. But again, I just think holding that mirror up to the client and saying, look, this is where you are. Do you see that now? And it's just so powerful, and kind of explain to them, this is where you are. How does that feel? Where do you want to go? So let's go there together. I've got you. And we'll take that journey together through the coaching packages, even through sort of therapeutic exchanges as well. It's just beyond powerful. It's a measure. It shows you where you are, and it can show you where you've ended up.
You're so excited. You're so excited. Just talking about it. I love it. And this is why I love the assessments, because I was like, oh my God, everybody needs this. And it's the beginning. Like, for example, Beck, she does loads of other stuff in her training. You do psychotherapy and family therapy and all the things that you do. But it's the beginning to every coaching business. It doesn't matter what business you've got. It's so important. I love it. Oh my God, I love this. What would you say to someone who could be in your boat, who says that they know all they know about EQ, but then they haven't done my program? I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to throw that out there. What would you say to them?
You don't know all you know about EQ. And obviously that's not to diminish any trainings that you've done or any books that you've read or any development that you've taken. Everything is valuable. But to add the knowledge of the EQ mastery coaching accreditation on top of that, it's just explosive. And it makes everything else that you've read before it and everything else that you'll read after it make more sense. It just kind of heightens. Yeah, you can read stuff in a book, but it's the application of it. Yeah. And seeing, yeah. 100%.
I love that. That's exactly it. Honestly, I love this stuff so much. It's
brilliant. Yeah.
I can't wait to teach you again. Lisa, thank you so very much. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. I love that you're one of the founding coaches of everything that I've taught so far. So if you want to know more about, possibly if you feel like you want to learn more about emotional intelligence or go through your own assessment, click the link, add Lisa, connect with her. She's absolutely brilliant. Or you can reach out to me if you want to learn how to apply it into your business. We are all here together to create a ripple effect of healing, alignment, and all the things. So thank you, Lisa. I love you so much. And thank you for watching, guys. Mwah. I'll speak to you soon.
You too.